Hello everybody, Sky here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my S.T.A.F.F bots! Woo! So, real quick before we get into this video, it is technically a sponsored video because Modibot actually reached back out to me and now I have an affiliate link with them. So, if you guys want to get your own Modibot and mod them into Five Nights at Freddy's characters or any other thing, there is a affiliate link in the description, and if you use that, it helps me out. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Modibot was really awesome and they sent me a bunch of free items, so I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. Though there is one thing to note, if you do get a Modibot, when putting it together, be sure to follow the instruction sheet. There's a very specific way you gotta put the ball joints together, or else you might put too much pressure on the wrong area and the ball joints might break. So once they are together, they are incredibly solid. It's just assembly, you gotta be a little bit careful on there. I know, I actually have the record of most breaks, so in other words, don't be like me. Follow the instruction card, because I did not realize there was a specific way to put them together, and it actually works way better if you follow that. And yeah, I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Jumping into it, I made both a original S.T.A.F.F bot, so just like the janitorial one, and then one of the, I believe they're the alpha S.T.A.F.F bots. I don't exactly know what their game name is, but they're like the spooky version of them. Essentially, they're the exact same build. This one is actually like a tiny bit shorter than the regular S.T.A.F.F bot. I didn't actually realize that until I was done with them. So essentially they are identical except for the arms on this one. I decided to make their arms a little bit longer just so that they were a little bit more creepy on the grabbiness and stuff. So their arms are longer on the spooky version than the original version. Alright, let's get a quick side by side here. Now here they are together. As you can see, I only actually made two S.T.A.F.F bots, but with a little bit of trickery and some Lego pieces, I actually made a bunch of interchangeable parts so that I can actually swap these guys into being different S.T.A.F.F bots. So before we get into that, let's take a quick close-up look at these guys. Alrighty, as you can see, this head is incredibly tiny. Probably the smallest detail I've ever done on a character. I actually had to use like a toothpick instead of a paintbrush to do the eyes there. I'm actually quite happy with how the face turned out on this guy. Stop focusing on that one. Technically they're supposed to have two sets of wires coming out from the back of their arms, but I decided to just go with one set because that seemed like a lot of extra work to try to not only incorporate two sets of wires, but also make it so that it doesn't affect their poseability, which I was actually able to do pretty well because I found some wires that were fairly flexible and they just so happened to be red as well, so I didn't have to worry about painting them. So technically there is supposed to be a blue wire going with the red wire, but I just decided to make it two red wires instead. Very poseable figure. It's basically got the generic Modibot poseability. I did remove his legs, so at the waist here, instead of it going into legs, it just goes into the block of a body here. Essentially it can rotate 360 degrees so that I could either have the character like this with the little platform not in front of him, or I could put the platform in front of him, have his body facing this way, and then I don't have to worry about him falling over if he's like that. So each one I did add a little platform, which if I use these guys for a project, I'll just edit that out depending on the shot. But essentially, if I wasn't holding this down and I put him too far forward, there is a good chance he would just fall over because of the weight of the top half of this guy. Now the poseability is exactly the same for both of them, but I'll get you a close-up on the spooky one anyway. Here we go, we got that beautiful face up in there. It's a little bit hard to see, but he still does have the teardrops. It's just because of the dark wash you can't quite see it as well, though if I had a super up close shot of him you can still kind of see the teardrops there. Both of these guys, if and when I use them in a project, I'm going to be modifying them with like VFX and stuff to make it so that the eyes glow and make them even more spooky. And not to mention, stop motion animation for like a creepy figure already makes things spooky, so I feel like these guys, if I make a couple animations with this guy and then duplicate it, it'd be quite creepy to see like a bunch of these coming towards the camera and stuff. And yeah, you might be curious how I actually am able to swap out certain parts of these guys. I did actually use a couple Lego pieces for them. In fact, both of their heads pop off, and you can see the classic Lego head underneath there. And essentially, I made it so that the tops of their heads are interchangeable, so they're both just this kind of like little piece right like this. And I made a bunch of pieces that I can swap out with those. So here's the first example. First example, we've got the security bot. So essentially, it's exactly the same as the other one. He's just got a little flashlight he can hold, and I swapped out the top part for a little staff head, or like a security staff hat. I do know that technically the staff bots are like slightly different colors, but since the hat is black and the flashlight is gray, I could always just turn down the saturation on this guy when using him for a project, and it would look like he's like a darker blue by doing that. So I think overall this looks pretty good. And the hat and flashlight work for the spooky version as well. So technically all of these items work for both of them. I also made a little mop slash broom for the regular staff bot so that it could technically be a janitorial staff bot as well. Just a little item you can hold. And then I also made a mat bot add-on set for the original staff bot. I'll tell you what, these glasses were a son of a gun to get to put together. It's all one piece too. Pops right off. I even gave him his little satchel bag set thing. I wasn't able to make it look like maps were sticking out of it just because the scale was really difficult to work with, but I still think having this extra little backpack looking thing on him helps out a lot. And in case you were wondering, it also works for SpookyBot as well. Now we've got MapBot in his true form, a demon. As things should be. Now I am aware there are way more versions of the staff bots in the actual games, but I was only able to make these different variations mainly just due to time. I personally think that I was able to get majority of the important variations of the staff bots, but I might eventually try to make a couple more add-on pieces here or there, or maybe even a full new head slash body for the broken one that's found in the secret Afton ending. Other than that, that kind of wraps up the close look at these guys. Let me just show you a quick comparison with the rest of the figures, and then we can wrap up the video. So here they are compared with my custom Ballora figurine and my custom Burn Trap. I didn't feel like unposing him. I'm been told I should really make him a wheelchair, so I might be doing that in the short future. But as you can see, these guys are like the smallest scale figurine that I've made to date, I think. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, posability wise, the Modibot really helped with this, but I'm quite happy with how small scale I was able to make these guys, and the amount of detail work I was also able to put into them. Here's a quick comparison with a Funko figurine. This is Dreadbear, specifically my customized version of him, and you can still see they're smaller than like a Funko figure, so it was quite fun to make these two, but also a bit of a challenge just due to the scale of them. So yeah, I wanted to give another quick shout out to Modibot for my little bit of a sponsorship in this video. So they're technically sponsoring me for basically any project I use any Modibot related items in. So if you guys are interested on getting your own Modibots or anything like that, be sure to use my affiliate link in the top of the description because it'll really help me out if you do. And that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.